India charges us massive tariffs, massive. You can't even sell anything into India. It's almost restrictive. It is restrictive. We do very little business inside.
Last month, that is on February 2025, both sides had announced that they will engage and negotiate a mutually beneficial multi-sector bilateral trade.
To really stop it now, because this has been very unfair. Our country, from an economic standpoint, and financial standpoint, and a trade standpoint.
Objective through the BTA is to strengthen and deepen India-US two-way trade across goods and services.
One other thing, in Canada, we find that they're charging us over 200% for dairy products. You know about that. And when I left, we had that well taken care of, but under Biden, they just kept raising it. Very difficult to deal with the Canadian representatives. 250% for dairy products, tariff. So where do you hear that? You don't hear that. They have a tremendously high tariff. Give you the exact numbers in a little while coming out on lumber. So they sell us lumber. They have a tremendous tariff. They make it impossible for us to sell lumber or dairy products into Canada, but our numbers are a tiny fraction of that, almost non-existent. And what we're doing is freeing up our forests from the environmental nonsense that they put on them, where you can't cut down a tree. And we have to cut down trees in order to build the firewalls. And those trees are sold, but we're freeing it up on an emergency basis, because Canada has been ripping us off for years on tariffs for lumber and for dairy products. 250%, nobody ever talks about that. 250% tariff, which is taking advantage of our farmers, so that's not gonna happen anymore. They'll be met with the exact same tariff unless they drop it. And that's what reciprocal means. And we may do it as early as today, or we'll wait till Monday or Tuesday. But that's what we're going to do. We're going to charge the same thing. It's not fair. Never has been fair. And they've treated our farmers badly. Look, our country's been ripped off by everybody. That stops now. I had it stopped in my first term. And we're going to really stop it now, because this has been very unfair. Our country, from an economic standpoint, and financial standpoint, and a trade standpoint, has been absolutely ripped off by almost every country in the world. Canada, Mexico, and then you just go right down the line. India charges us massive tariffs, massive. You can't even sell anything into India. It's almost restrictive. It is restrictive. We do very little business inside. They've agreed, by the way, they want to cut their tariffs way down now, because somebody's finally exposing them for what they've done. And same thing with China, same thing with a lot of other countries.
Administration has talked about retaliatory tariffs. What is India's take on that?
Regarding your questions on the announcement made by President Trump, we had earlier also addressed and put forward our point of view. And we had said that, and again I would like to repeat, that during Prime Minister's visit to the United States in last month, that is on February 2025, both sides had announced that they will engage and negotiate a mutually beneficial multi-sector bilateral trade agreement. You would have known that Commerce Minister was visiting the United States, where he met his counterparts. The two governments are in the process of advancing discussions on a multi-sector bilateral trade agreement. And as you would have seen in a joint statement also, I would like to repeat what we had mentioned there. Our objective through the BTA is to strengthen and deepen India-US two-way trade across goods and services, increase market access, reduce tariff and non-tariff barriers, and deepen supply chain integration between the two countries. So that is how we look at the issue of tariff as far as India-US is concerned.